everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ready, Set, Recap, where we recap what's been going on. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
What's up?
This week, in the news, we've got casting for God of War, a Daredevil trailer, another Game of Thrones spin-off show, the next Bloober team game, Ubisoft going on strike, Amazon layoffs, and guess what? Sales are down in the games industry. But before we get into all that, Skyler, what's been going on with you this week?
Not a whole heck of a lot. Myself and you and a good chunk of the country has been snowed in this week.
True.
So because of that, I didn't go see a new major motion picture. I was going to see Send Help, the new Sam Raimi movie, but that'll have to wait for next week. What I did do, I watched half of a television show. I've still got the other half to finish. I'll do that maybe later today, this weekend. Did you know that Wonderman came out?
I did, yeah. I knew it had come out and people were like, oh, it's reviewing really well. And I was like, I don't really care. And then I saw a different tweet that was like, Josh Gad has gone missing. And they're like, this is a bit from the show. So
that is true. I have gotten that far at least. Yeah, my experience with it was I knew Wonder Man was coming out this year, and then someone suddenly was like, hey, this show's really good, and I feel I should let people know that it's actually out because it's not really getting promoted a lot. And I was like, I didn't know that it came out already. And then I looked on Disney Plus, and it's not week to week. They dropped the entire season. It's just there. So I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So I did watch the first 4 out of the 8 episodes. And you know what? It's really, really, really charming.
Okay. All right.
I really like our two main players of Yahya Abdul-Mateen playing Simon Williams. And also Ben Kingsley is back as Trevor Slattery. Everyone's least favorite Marvel Phase 2 character, but they finally found a good spot for him, I feel. Ben Kingsley's really turning on some good charm. It's not just like the look how silly and stupid he's being. There's a little bit more depth to him here. Yes, the spoilers, Josh Gad, real life celebrity and guy who's in a lot of Disney pictures, which this show on Disney Plus will be very quick to tell you.
Right. Olaf from Frozen. And I
universe,
think was he in Into the Woods? Am I making that up?
He's not Into the Woods. Into the Woods is
that's
that
James,
other guy people don't like, James Corden. But he was in Beauty and the Beast.
Right. He was
LeFou. He was the first gay LeFou.
He was Gaston's little buddy. Yeah.
Little gay friend. That's what Disney said. But then I don't know. Something does a big oopsie and Josh Gad goes missing, and that's literally the last episode I saw. It was all about and leading up to that. So interesting. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think charming is the most appropriate word for it. It's the showrunner and director of at least the first 2 episodes was Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Shang-Chi. He's doing the Spider-Man movie that's coming out this year, and I'm like, dang, he's kind of got the sauce that is making this work. And so I'm actually genuinely looking forward to finishing it. The new Marvel is a good Marvel, turns out. I think personally.
We'll see. They clearly didn't have a lot of faith in this one if they're dropping the whole thing on there, so that's not necessarily a great sign.
Well, that's because it's not focused, at least not yet. It's not focused on big superhero punching. It's 99% about a guy who he's an actor and he's trying to get this big role, and there's like expectations from his family who are mostly awful. And his growing friendship with this old actor who's struggled with his own stuff in his life, especially that time he was a known terrorist.
Yeah, how do we come back from that?
He really doesn't.
Okay.
Everybody he meets, they're like, where do I know him from? And then so they're like, I think he used to be a terrorist.
Didn't that guy do like 9/11?
Yeah.
Are we okay with that?
I'm having fun with it, surprisingly. So yeah, I'm gonna again halfway done, so I can give this half a thumbs up so far. We'll see if it sticks the landing when I finish it.
Pretty good. I take it from the way you led into it that's the only thing you want to talk about this week.
It's the only thing that I contractually can't talk about because everything else gets talked about on different episodes.
Fair enough.
Spent a lot of time playing catch up for our replay series.
Yeah, we got a long game coming. Hey, so this week I did a couple of things. Nothing like super exciting. Because I was iced in, I had opportunity to watch and read some anime and manga, and I chose for that to be the same property. So I watched
Ooh.
all of season 2 of Kaiju number 8, and then I and then I read the 3 other volumes of it that I had bought and had not read yet that are probably the end of what season 3 of that show is going to be, if I had to guess. Shit's really good, man. It's so cool. It's so cool. Like, I already knew the stuff that was going to happen in season 2, obviously, because I had already read the books, but seeing it animated is really nice. I do in this case, rare case, prefer the art in the manga over the art in the show. They do a lot of CGI stuff, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But when they do really cool, impactful, like, fighting moments, it looks so great. It looks really good. And the intro and the outro are always great in both of the seasons. So it's just a really enjoyable watch. There's not like a ton of spoilers I can give, because honestly, I don't know if anybody that we know and listens to this podcast is even going to watch it. So I don't know if it's like even worth avoiding spoilers for. But basically it's like season 2 is the season where it's like, okay, we're all going to gear up for season 3. And so a lot of the characters that we've met in season 1 are sort of going through training arcs and like getting new weapons and getting new abilities and stuff. And then it ends with the like, and this is what season 3 is going to be. And I imagine everyone who hasn't read the books are going like, oh my Jesus Christ. Because it's pretty spooky. It's very exciting. It's an exciting time to be a kaiju fan. And then the books that are the end of them dealing with the thing that shows up at the end of season 2 is very good. It's so good. It got me very excited. We finally get a moment that we've been waiting for since the beginning of the show, or the books, depending on where you started, where 2 characters finally are together in the same place doing a thing at the same time. If you know, you know. It's very exciting to see it. Very exciting times. But also this week, I, for the first time, this may shock you because it came out a long time ago.
Shocked already.
And it is very popular. I, for the very first time, watched the film Dune.
Oh, the new ones, I'm assuming.
The Timothée Chalamet Dune.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
It's very good. I will say,
Yeah.
I imagine that the show didn't, or the movie rather, didn't become super popular until the second one, because that first one, not a ton happening. There's a lot of like world building and proper nouns being thrown at you, and they're like, here's the Bene Gesserit. What are they? Don't worry about it. What's a Shia-Lu? Big worm, or whatever.
Yeah, the first one is very much part 1, and the second one is all payoff, and then it's.
I haven't watched part 2 yet, but I will probably this weekend.
I really like that first one. I think the second one is 5 stars.
I did watch the trailer for the second one afterwards, because I was like, I don't have time to watch another 3-hour movie right now.
Right.
But the like first shot in the trailer is Paul and Zendaya's character, who I don't think we even know the name of yet. Like, they said it once, I don't know it. Like laying together in a tent. She's like, it's okay, I'm here. And I'm like, y'all met like 1 second ago for me. Because they don't meet until like the last second of that movie. Like, she's not in that thing.
That's the funniest thing about that first one, is she's barely in it. She's dream sequence, and then there she is.
Yeah. She spends most of the first movie as like a ghost in a dream, and then she finally shows up and she's like, I could kill you. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
There she is. There's my girl.
Yeah. Her character is, for the most part, I will say one of the only things that kind of differs from the book a little bit.
Okay.
Without going into too much, since you haven't seen the second one, but where that second one ends and where her character in the book is differing opinions on the situation she finds herself in. I'll say.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I think there's a couple of things that I really like about it. narratively, I don't know that I'm there yet. There's a couple of like threads in the narrative that I'm there for. Like, I think it's really interesting that all of the people on the planet think of Paul as like a messiah figure already. And the third movie is called Dune Messiah, so clearly that takes off.
Yeah.
But they say like very early that that's not true. Like that was a lie that the Bene Gesserit planted at some point, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So it's just like, yeah, he's Jesus, but we lied about Jesus. So that's a really interesting take. I love that because it kind of twists the otherwise like white savior thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like he's coming to the sand planet and he's going to make them good or whatever. He's going to bring
Exactly.
democracy to the Middle East or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Bring democracy to the worms.
Yeah, to the worms. We're going to get those worms in the ballot box, baby. Would you prefer Shia or Lube? But them doing the twist of like, oh, actually, the fact that they do literally think of him as a white savior is actually like potentially the biggest betrayal in the future is them finding that out. That's a really interesting thread to see like what happens with that. Obviously, I don't know where that goes. I have to assume it's not a great thing when they find out that it's a lie. But in the first one, it's very much just like world building. They're like, here are the Atreides and here are the Harkonnens and here are the I think it's Fremen, which I assume is supposed to be like free men. Like, I assume that's where the name comes from. 90% of the time that people say it in the movie, it does just sound like saying, and the Fremen. House Atreides is going to partner up with the Fremen.
They are the Fremen, yeah.
They're Fremen. Which I think is really funny. But then, you know, I think the thing that people talk about the most with this is, like, how great the cinematography is, how great, like, all the designs are. It's just, like, a really interesting universe that I guess we didn't get a good enough look at with the old version with Dad from Fallout.
Correct. Definitely not. That movie deserves its place on the shelf, but it's riddled with a lot of interesting choices. And I think, don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure David Lynch like hated making it.
Oh no.
Absolutely hated it.
Well, I hope he liked the new ones when they came out. He definitely would have seen the first one. Or, well, could have seen the first one.
Why do I need to watch fucking Dune? I already made one.
I made Dune. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's what he would have said.
God rest him. I will say, going into the second movie that I hopefully watch, but before the next time that we talk about this, right now, the group of people I dislike the most, this might shock you, the Bene Gesserit. Not a fan.
Well, how can you root for the evil space witches?
Don't like the witches.
You can't root for them.
They showed up. The first Bene Gesserit shows up and she's like, put your hand in this box. And I'm like, I don't like this woman. I don't like what's happening here. I'll get you with the Gom Jabbar. It was like, brother, you gotta stop.
How this is kind of a segue to a different thing, but how caught up are you on the current season of Fallout?
I have watched all but the most recent episode.
Okay, me too. There's a part where Kyle MacLachlan puts another guy's hand in a box, and I was like,
you know what? I didn't even think about that, but you're absolutely... Yeah. Granted, I hadn't seen the movie at that point, but yeah.
Sure.
Oh my... Did they do the Gom Jabbar in the original one?
They do.
Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. But yeah. Oh, one other thing I did this week. This isn't like a whole conversation, but I do think it's really funny. So for Christmas, my family, my sisters, got me a smartwatch to keep track of like my steps and my health or whatever you're supposed to do with it. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it's mostly been for me up to this point, is like a really nice pedometer, I guess.
Sure.
Found out today, fell asleep with it on, that it keeps track of your energy score, which is...
What does that mean?
Truthfully, don't really know. But it somehow keeps track of like how you've slept and where you've slept and whatever. Not where you've slept, but like, you know, amount of time that you've slept and whether or not it can somehow tell how your energy should be. And I will say it's been pretty accurate. Like, I'll be feeling tired and I'll look down and it'll be like, you're dying. I'm like, oh, good. But I took a nap today with the watch on, which usually I take it off when I fall asleep. But, you know, sometimes sleep finds you. And it was like, congratulations on your nap. You earned 9 energy points. And I was like, this is a new game for me. This watch was supposed to get me up and moving. It's not. This is my sleep watch now.
You've earned energy points.
I earned 9 energy points with a good old like hour-long nap.
Good morning, Daniel. I hope you enjoyed your nap. You have 6 milliliters of urine that you need to expel. It's like, how do you
How
know?
do you know? How do you know? But no, my new sleep watch. We're gamifying this. I'm gonna be the sleepiest boy ever, and I'm not walking
That's
ever again.
that's kind of scary. You know what? You know what? What I've learned here is that I need to get one of these watches, and I need to beat you at napping.
You can't. I'm so good at napping, and I live alone. No one can stop me.
Well, I no one could stop you when you and I were roommates either. I think you might have narcolepsy.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. I'm good at sleep. Anyway,
Yeah, that's fine.
let's talk about the news. So we got first thing up because I think it'll be probably one of the faster things we talk about. We got casting for that Amazon God of War show that's happening, and I only know two of the actors that they've announced, which is something. More interesting are the characters who have been announced. So Ryan Hurst is playing Kratos. Notably, he was the voice actor for Thor in God of War Ragnarok, and he was also in that Sons of Anarchy show for a long time. I only watched like the first season of it, but he was like one of the main characters in it, I think. You've got Max Parker playing Heimdall, Teresa Palmer playing Sif. She looks familiar, but I don't really know her. She looks like, if I had to guess from the picture, maybe like a horror movie person. I don't know if you knew her. We've got Olafur D. Olafsson playing Thor, and I mean the name plays the part for sure already. Alistair Duncan is Mimir, and then Mandy Patinkin is Odin, and he's the only other person that I know, although I had to double check because I was like, why do I know this guy? Do you know where he's from off the top of your head?
No, I will say that the only person who I know who this is, because I don't recognize any of these actors. No, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
Teresa Palmer. I don't recognize you either. The only person I know who they are was because I on socials I got a different article pop up that said that Alistair Duncan is returning as Mimir. I guess did he play Mimir in the game?
I couldn't tell you, but probably. Like, I could definitely see that. I mean, he's, spoilers, a severed head, so he's not going to have to do a whole lot
Yeah,
of,
no.
like,
I played that one. I know that one.
so he's probably not going to have to do, like, too much. He's basically going to be voice acting as a severed head, because I imagine he's going to be CG half the time, if not more. But no, Mandy Patinkin, that's Inigo Montoya.
Oh,
Yeah. I didn't recognize
okay.
him in the picture that they put because he's like an old man with a beard. I recognized him because I was like, is he a doctor in something? He is. He was in Chicago Hope forever. He was in what's that? Criminal Minds for a long time, and then he was
Sure.
in I don't know, a bunch of other stuff. But those were the two where I think I recognized his beard face from. But then I
Hmm.
saw, oh no, he's Inigo Montoya, and I was like, that's where people are gonna know him
That's
from, surely.
the most famous character ever. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go out on a limb and say
yeah,
everybody knows Inigo Montoya.
I don't know that I would agree with most famous ever, but yeah, up
He's
there
more
for
he's
sure.
more famous than Superman and Barbie
Darth Vader,
and Tom Brady. He's more famous than all of
Tom,
those things.
real man, Tom Brady.
He is. It's true.
Um, you know what? I won't even disagree. The thing that a lot of people looking at this casting are looking at, and sort of maybe complaining about is not like who's being cast, because I think for the most part people are like, yeah, whatever, whatever.
Mhm.
These are actors that most people aren't going to recognize, with I guess the exception of Inigo Montoya. So they're like, sure, man, whatever. The more not necessarily concerning but confusing thing is that this is for season 1 of the show, and only 2 of the characters I just listed are in the first video game.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes here that are in the second game.
Like, Heimdall plays a very bit role in the second game. Thor's Thor and Odin are the main villains of the second one. Sif also very bit role. So it's like, are we just going to spend a lot more time with the Norse pantheon maybe, and so we're seeing them during the events of the first game, or are we combining the two games into one? Because genuinely, you might have to, because remembering the first game, like, not a ton happens that isn't punching
Yeah,
guys, and you can't make
there's
an 8 episode show where the whole time he's just punching guys.
there's a lot of puzzle solving through like big, landscapes or caves or things like that. But the story is very much like you got to go here, then you got to go there, then you got to go here,
Yeah,
and then you're there.
Well,
The end. Roll credits. Go on to the next one. So
right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they lumped both games together and kind of did a sprint to the finish over 8 episodes.
I could see that. I also think they are almost certainly going to add stuff because they're the whole first game is like you and your son coming together and like learning who each other are and sort of not like growing to love each other because you already do, but like expressing that love more front forward. It's hard to explain. It's a interesting story. But so every like hour or so, you'll get like a cutscene where they're like, "Oh, hey, we're hanging out now. We're a little bit closer, or whatever. We're gonna have a father and son conversation." But in between that hour is just fighting. So you're gonna have to fill that with something else, right? Theoretically, because you can't. They're not gonna make the whole show just I'm cutting up Draugr with my axe. Maybe it's too much. I'm surprised that we're getting casting for these characters to fill that space instead of like getting flashbacks from the Greek stuff, but maybe they're just going to be like, who cares about that? And like not even really touch on the he's Greek part of it, you know?
That would kind of be my assumption.
Do we see Blades of
But
Chaos?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They're too iconic to not. I think they need to at least acknowledge that he originally came from Greece.
Right. Well,
Whether or not we actually see any of that is up in the air, I think. It would be a really cool, pleasant surprise if we get
right.
like a full flashback scene sequence in Greece and we see, I don't know, we're not going to see him like ripping Hermes in half or whatever,
No,
but
most certainly not. Because the only characters who in the Norse games matter are Athena, kind of, Zeus, and his family. Like his old family, I guess, doesn't matter as characters, but it's important that we know that he had them and that they died. So I bet we get that. I bet we see that, you know, at some point, because that's the whole reason that he's distant with his son is because his previous family was killed by him. Spoilers. So that I mean that's like the whole impetus for the way the character is. If they leave that out, it'd be insane, right? Theoretically.
yes, it would be.
For me, the weirdest part of this casting is that we have all of these dudes, and we don't have, at least not to my knowledge, we don't have an Atreus or a Freya, who are like the other two main characters. Did we get a Balder? I feel like we did get a Balder, and it's just not on this list I'm looking at. But I don't think we got a Freya or an Atreus, who now I keep wanting to say Atreides because I'm Dune pilled.
That's true. Yeah, we don't have Atreus. I don't know. How do you speculate on who should play this young man? Just say other young man. I think
Yeah.
the kid from the 28 Years Later movies, he uses a bow and arrow in those too. So just get him. He's already got training.
Yeah, it looks like the only other casting on IMDb, other than the ones that I listed, are Brock and Sindri, who are two dwarfs, who, hey, to their credit, are played by actual dwarfs. So that's nice.
Oh, they should get ProZD to play the character he voices.
Oh, the squirrel. Yeah.
Yeah, he should be a squirrel.
Why not? So yeah, obviously we're waiting on that. Those like, you know, big castings of Atreus and Freya, because they're going to be, and Balder. They're going to be the characters who matter the most to the first part of the first game, assuming that we're not skipping over that, because again, not a ton happens in that first game. But I'm confused. I'm confused by the rollout of how this has been. I don't know how much faith I'm putting in like the expected quality of this show. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna watch it. So
we're all fairly confident that it's going to play out how The Last of Us show did, where we're just doing the game, right? So that in itself has certain questions of how much does this matter narratively? Yeah, like we already have the game,
right.
so like let's just see what happens here. But they put a lot of money in this. It's got quality stuff
Yeah.
attached to it. I'm not saying anything. I'm not adding anything to the conversation right now. It's just God of War's happening. Is what I'm basically saying.
God of War's happening. Here's these guys. Well, did you finish the first game or just like play some of it?
I finished the first one.
Okay. But you never met half of the people who got cast, so you probably don't have a lot to say about that.
I actually to this day have not played Ragnarok.
Yeah. It's good.
It's I'm noticing ever since we started this program, I'm noticing how many things I've never played because
hey, that's why we're doing it.
that it just comes up and it's just like, nope, never did that.
Yeah, and I've never seen any
I've
movie
never.
ever, so that's why we're doing this.
We're healing each other.
Yeah, this is the way it works.
Hmm.
Anyway, I'm excited for it to some extent. I'm a little worried that the casting implies we're gonna either change things or squish these two things together, and I don't know that either of those is a good idea. But I'll be there. I'll be watching it. Expect my opinion on that when it comes out, whenever it comes out. Other news in the world of television is we got a trailer for Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Woohoo!
It looks pretty cool. We got Matthew Lillard is in it. I don't know who he plays. Didn't know he was in it till he showed up in the trailer. Have not been following the news of this show, I guess, because I'm sure that was announced at some point.
Where? What? Hang on. Where was he in the trailer?
He pops up in the trailer for like 1 second, and I was like, that's Shaggy.
Is this true?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
Unless there's a guy who just
watching
looks like Matthew Lillard.
watching the trailer now.
Do it.
Oh my God! Is that Matthew Lillard?
I thought it was. If it's not, I mean, fuck me, but I thought it
No,
was.
hang on. I'm seeing him. I think that's Matthew Lillard.
Hell yeah.
No, yeah, that's 100% him. He's playing a character called Mr. Charles,
Okay.
apparently, according to this, and who knows when that was announced. I either missed it or it didn't phase me.
I
But yeah, there he is.
I hope he's playing a good guy because I feel like we've seen him mostly as villains lately, especially. So I want him to be on the side of the good in this one. I think he
Yeah.
deserves it. But yeah, so he's in that. There's a scene where Matt
we
and Karen are kissing real hard.
we've spent all this time talking about Matthew Lillard, and we haven't even touched on the fact of the return of Jessica Jones.
Okay, and that's very exciting. But which one's more exciting?
Well, I think we knew about Jessica already.
We did, yeah. Well, because
You and I,
if I
at
remember
least.
right, either it was announced like immediately after the first season ended, or she may have even been in that scene at the end where he goes to, was it Josie's bar or whatever, and he's like, "Here's our
She
new
wasn't.
guys." Okay,
She wasn't actually there, but I think yeah, it was a relative quick turnaround of rumors at least, and then a confirmation of I don't know.
right.
Her coming back was inevitable either way, especially after we got the Punisher back and Daredevil back and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
and so I assume Punisher's going to be involved in this in some degree, but this is after new Spider-Man that he's in. So who knows where he
yeah,
could be in space for all we know at that point.
I don't know. I don't remember the timeline on what's going to come out first, whether it be
You know what? It should be this, shouldn't it? Because if we're getting a trailer for this before Spider-Man, you would think this is coming out first, right?
plus Punisher has like a Disney Plus short film
Oh yeah,
happening
I didn't know
too.
that.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna pause for a second and we're gonna look up the goddamn release schedule of all these Marvel craps that we're talking about. Hang on. Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, March 24th is when that begins.
Okay, so that's relatively soon.
So that's definitely before Spider-Man.
Okay,
And what television specials, Untitled Punisher special mid 2026. So this is first. So yeah, this is going to set the stage for presumably if Punisher doesn't show up in this for some reason, then it'll set the stage for the what kind of New York he'll be running around in his short film or Spider-Man, whichever comes first.
oh, was the short film not on the phase
It doesn't have a
6?
specific date. It doesn't.
Okay.
It just says mid this year. And it's like, thanks.
They said
I guess they don't have to tell us. It's their streaming service, right?
they said it's gonna be mid. Don't worry about
It'll
it.
it'll be out when it's out. That's what they said.
But yeah, hell yeah, man. I'm all for, especially right
Matthew
now.
Lillard.
I'm all for Matthew Lillard. I'm all for the like, let's overthrow our bad government guy and beat up these crooked Gestapo ass police people in New York.
Yeah,
Any
I-
shot that we get a Zoran
I-
cameo? Probably
I quite
not.
enjoyed. No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
No.
I quite liked season 1. I think it had the odd bits that were like a little funky, a little cartoony, I guess, more cartoony than the Netflix 3 seasons that we got, but it was still great to have Matt Murdock back. I think we're doing a lot of cool stuff here.
Hmm.
And I'm I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the shows that I'm more excited for this year. So that's something. That's something. It's gonna be good. I'm also just now realizing that I didn't say at the beginning that we were going to talk about the things that we're looking forward to in 2025. So I may end up re-recording that part. If not,
just say it now. Say it now, and just edit it in.
And at the end of the show, we're going to tell you our 5 things that we are most looking forward to in 2026. Perfect. So everyone look forward to that.
When you get to this point
just
in the
cut
editing,
it and drag it
then
back.
You'll know. Then you'll know. You're like, oh, right. And then you just got to take that all the way back to the front.
Yeah. Okay, anyway. And our final piece of television news, there is, I believe this is still like roughly rumored. It's not like 100% confirmed, but Genndy Tartakovsky is apparently being attached to do an animated spin-off for the Game of Thrones universe that focuses on the Sea Snake, who, in my opinion, is one of the better characters from House of the Dragon. So I'm pretty down for that, actually.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, such a cool and, for the most part, kind of underutilized aspect of all of the Game of Thrones shows that we've gotten so far. Granted, I haven't begun watching the newest one that came out, or at least started, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the naval stuff, like big fleets of ships and stuff that we haven't really, we've kind of seen one or two like cool naval battles, or I'm thinking of that scene from like the last season or second to last season where there was that big like scary ship to ship fight. But that was more like a ship crash into another ship. That wasn't like blasting big cannons and
in like
stuff.
The first or second season there was a fight that involved boats.
That's true. But it was boats versus land. We don't want that.
Right. And we also
that
didn't really see it because our boy Tyrion got knocked out because they didn't have funding for that fight. They couldn't afford it. So I am excited for it. I think Tartakovsky is pretty much all the things he's done that I've seen, he's been good at. So if he wants to make like a Clone Wars, but it's Game of Thrones now, I'm down for that.
For those who don't recognize the name Genndy Tartakovsky, he's the creator of Dexter's Laboratory. He worked on Powerpuff Girls. He created Samurai Jack, is one of the big ones. I think when people think of his name, a lot of times they jump to either Samurai Jack or the animated Star Wars Clone Wars thing, the first one, not like the 3D animated one that was on that did multiple seasons. It was 2D animated in the style of Samurai Jack, in between the release of the second and episode 2 and episode 3, which is a very, very good show. He created that show Primal, if anyone's a fan of that. I know some people that are fans of that. And most recently, he did that movie about a dog that was like gonna get fixed and then wanted to go have sex with other dogs. I don't know. That looked terrible.
Okay.
That looked absolutely awful in my opinion. And not like, I'm not talking about animation style or anything like that. Whatever. That's a different argument. I think it looked like the most unfunny, like aimed at adults comedy. That's what I say is terrible. But yeah, I sent this news to a friend of ours, and he said, specifically about him making a animated Game of Thrones spinoff, and he said, good, let him do for Game of Thrones what he did for Star Wars, and we'll all forgive him for the dog sex movie. And I said, I couldn't have summed up the entire situation better myself, so I'm gonna just quote you. That's what I said.
You said, that's good, I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah. At least I credited him.
True. Got that MLA formatted citation there. But yeah, that's going to be exciting whenever it comes out, if it ever comes out. I know that like they announced at one point like 6 spin-offs and 2 of them have materialized, and I think a bunch of them have also been canceled. Like we were at one point supposed to get like a Jon Snow North of the Wall thing, and I don't think that's happening anymore. So,
who knows? Who knows?
Who could say? Truly.
We could, like, it could never happen, or we could just get like a TV spot at the Super Bowl for some reason. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing? Who knows what they're cooking up? Like, I think there's no faster way to get people to stop paying attention than to saying, we're doing 18 new shows. Like, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
This is an announcement for, like, not this, but that, rather, is an announcement for stockholders, because that's not doing anything for us right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
that's them saying, hey, I know that our big popular show is ending. Don't worry, we're going to do more of it.
We are still paying attention to IP. Like,
Right.
all right.
Which, like, also I feel like
Sure.
you could just say that in the boardroom and be like, we're making spin-offs and not make like a big deal out of it. But I guess they figure
But
that's going to get out anyway, so they may as well. I don't know.
especially considering that the initial number that they say is always a lie anyways.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
we're
almost.
making 6 shows and then they make 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Ubisoft did the same thing famously. Whenever it was looking like they were going to get bought out by somebody else, so they announced like a bunch of Assassin's Creed games, and so far we've gotten one of those, and I'm not feeling confident that we're going to get the rest of them. Hey, we got some video game news. So in the world,
I hope it's good news.
some of it is in the world of Nintendo. For all you Nintendeads out there, so the video game Dispatch, you may have heard of it. It was relatively popular, although it's only been on like, for some reason, only launched on PlayStation, and I think came to PC like a little bit later. So a lot of people have not played it yet because it was a smaller profile game, and then also limited on where it was available. So, but was pretty popular with critics. Crazy voice cast that's like entirely stunt casted. So it's like,
Yeah.
there's like Laura Bailey and, you know, some of your normal voice actors that you would expect, or like big name voice actors. But then also it's like, and we have Moist Critical and Alana Pierce is in here. And it's like, oh, and God, who's the Irish one? The Irish YouTuber.
Jacksepticeye?
Jacksepticeye plays a character, yeah. Where it's like, do these people do a good job? Some people say yes, some people say no, and I haven't played it, so I don't know, but we'll see.
Do they do a good job? That doesn't matter. They're here.
They're here, and they're gonna stream it so people will buy it, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, it's a workplace comedy game about superheroes, is the way it has been described. And so things get pretty adult in it. So over on Nintendo, where it is being ported to, it is being censored. Apparently they are censoring middle fingers, harsh language, and nudity, although the nudity is really more suggested nudity. I don't think you ever see a boob in the game, to my understanding. But there is apparently one bit in one of the episodes where it starts with 2 characters having sex, and you can like hear sounds and like moaning. And apparently now that scene is just silent. Just no sound at all.
Oh.
So... Okay. I don't know. The picture that I saw, like the thumbnail, was a picture of some blonde hero. I haven't played the game. Excuse me if you know her name. With like, you know, the like censored mosaic thing across her chest. I don't know if that's a real thing or if that was just like a thumbnail that somebody made, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Well,
yeah.
I would venture to guess that that's almost certainly just a thumbnail.
It's probably just
thing.
a thumbnail. But Nintendo has done stuff like this before. They censored a lot of stuff in the past. But now they mostly just do it to like protect children, which I think is an interesting take, because I feel like they're also trying so hard to convince you that they're not the console for babies.
Yeah.
And like, it's an M-rated game. You know what I mean? Like, it passed all of the ESRB rating boards and stuff. It has a rating. It tells you everything you need to know about it. So it's like, at that point, in my opinion,
fair
like,
point.
It's up to the parent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, once it has the rating, what right do you have to go in and censor it? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, and can I tell you the stupidest thing that's come up as part of this that I didn't know, because I would never play this game, especially not on Switch, is so Cyberpunk on Switch just has characters walking around with their dicks out, and that's fine.
Yeah.
They didn't bother censoring that.
And sometimes not on purpose.
Yeah. I think that I hope at least that bug's been fixed by now, but who knows?
No,
with that
I
game.
hope that's the one bug they didn't fix.
Yeah, just now your dick clips through your pants like crazy. So yeah, it feels very like backhanded, and it's like, okay, well, why is it here but not there? Like, you're gonna have to come up with something, and they're not. Realistically, they're just not gonna say anything about it, and they're not gonna change. You know, it's just gonna be the way it is, because Nintendo is gonna do what Nintendo does. But it is really funny to be like, so I can see a penis there, but I'm not allowed to hear a cartoon character moan over here. That's too much. That's we've gone too far.
Yes, we've gone too far in a few places.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. It's just sparked up this whole conversation about like, when is it okay to censor games? And it's like, well, it's your platform, so I guess you do get to make that call, but then also people get to make fun of you for it.
Yeah, and I will.
Yeah.
I think my take would be, as soon as it got that M rating, and you still said we'll put it on our Switch, you forfeited any right for censorship. If you don't want it on there, don't have it on there.
Yeah. But to move on to our next story, so Bloober Team, a team that you likely audience don't know by name, which is completely fair. They've made a couple of games, the medium. Most notably, they've made the Silent Hill 2 remake from last year, the year before, whatever it was. They are now teasing their next game. So there's a countdown on their website, counting down to Valentine's Day, and it's got a big rose on it that's like kind of falling apart, with a quote that says, "Some things never leave the walls, they only learn to wait." And so this has led to a lot of speculation about what this could be. There are two prevailing theories. Number one, it's another Silent Hill, although that quote doesn't line up with anything in Silent Hill as far as I'm aware. And no one that I have seen talking about it has pointed out something like that. So I would think that would be like, if you're going to do this rose motif in this quote, I would assume that if that was from Silent Hill that has such a rabid fan base, that somebody would be like, oh, you know what I mean?
Right.
The second theory that's gaining a lot of steam and sort of starting to overtake the Silent Hill theory is that it might be a remake of a different PS2 horror game called Rule of Rose, which is a lot more niche, but is very much a cult classic. It's one of those games. There's a handful of games on the PS2 that were so like critically acclaimed and so cult classic, but never got any kind of re-release. It's like this and Haunting Ground and a couple of other things that we would love to get some level of re-release for, because Rule of Rose right now, and definitely Haunting Ground, if you find a used copy, first of all, good, Godspeed, because they're impossible to find. And two, it's going to be like $400.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm hoping it's the Rule of Rose remake, because it is a very strange, very specific horror game that I've watched Let's Plays of, but never been able to play myself because of how difficult it is to find. Like you could emulate it, I'm sure.
Sure.
But I've never really been big on emulation because it's just like kind of a lot of work, and then a lot of the times the games are like objectively worse and broken because of the way the emulator works. So it's just like not worth it to me. In most cases, unless it's like the only option. But that would be really cool. And if they do that and it's successful, if they can like steamroll on the top of this, like, we're the guys who bring back old horror games, then maybe we can get a Haunting Ground, and maybe we can get some of these other things. And I would love for Bloober Team to become that team. That would be like the coolest thing in the world for me.
Yeah. You've completely sold me on that. I've never heard of Rule of Rose, I'll be honest.
No, it's very niche. Yeah.
Looking it up, and my only thing is, would they bother with a viral marketing countdown for something like this? Like, people are just gonna go, oh, what? But take that away, and I'm always pro not just remastering games, but like making games available, like you were saying, like something that has a following but has no market because it just owning it physically doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. It's like, genuinely at this point, I think most people who are playing this game currently are probably emulating it, because you're not paying $400 for this game. You're just not. It's good. It's a good game from what I understand, but I'm not paying $400 for it.
I found this here. Physical copies of Rule of Rose have become highly sought after. Collector's items prices for pre-owned copies range from $300 to $800, with some sealed or mint condition copies can sell for an excess of $1,000.
Yeah, there was one at I won't name drop it because I don't want people to know exactly where we live.
I know the place.
No, it's not that one. It's the other one. It's
really?
It's the one right by your house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a copy of, I forget if it was Haunting Ground or Rule of Rose, but I remember seeing it there when I was with you, actually, and being like, seeing it was like $400 or $500 and being like, yeah, that's the price for it. Like, they're not even upcharging. Like, that's what people would pay for this. I'm not gonna.
No, can't be doing it.
Yeah, I got bills, so no thank you. But yeah, so that's my hope, is I really hope that it's Rule of Rose, just because it is one of those games where, I don't know if I've ever said this on the channel, I collect PS2 games. That's one of the things that I like pretty regularly keep track of. I think I have over 200 different PS2 games now, and I'm not collecting all of them. You know, I'm not collecting every Madden or every NBA or whatever. But Rule of Rose and Haunting Ground have been two that have been like in my sort of crown jewel of like I need to get these at some point, and I'm just looking at that price and I'm like I cannot justify that. You know what I mean? So a re-release of it is the next best thing, and I would be thrilled to have it.
Yeah, 100%.
And Bloober Team does a good enough job. I think their original properties have been pretty weak. Like Medium was not great, but Silent Hill 2, when they're taking a good game and just making it again, they can color in the lines really well. So just do that again.
That's fun. I like that.
Someone's got to do it, and I don't know where Bluepoint's been since the Shadow of the Colossus remake or whatever. So
yeah, for real.
All right, are you ready for the bad news?
Oh no, yes.
So remember how last week we talked about Ubisoft doing some bad things and restructuring and closing 2 studios?
Yeah.
So now their employees are striking back, which is, I guess, a good thing, but it's because of the previous bad thing. Basically, Ubisoft, on top of those 2 things, the 2 studios being closed and the restructuring, have also asked for, they're not laying people off at their Paris HQ. What they're doing is requesting 200 people quit, basically.
Okay.
They're like, we would love it for 200 of you to come to us and be like, I don't want to work here anymore. Which is not likely to happen, I would say. And so they'll probably end up doing layoffs anyway. And so basically Ubisoft workers at that location and across Europe, but they're trying to get the rest of the studios to agree to it, are planning to do a big strike and a walkout next month to be like, you know what, this is bullshit, actually, and we're done. And I support it.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit of context before you jump in and tell them to go fuck themselves, I assume. That would be 18% of the staff in that building. 200 people.
That's insane.
Yeah. Imagine it. Everyone listening at home, imagine your workplace, unless you work from home. If you work at a workplace, imagine that place. And then imagine roughly 1 in 5 people are just not there tomorrow. What does that do to your workload and your ability to create a product?
And you know what? I'll give you a big hint as to what it does to your pay. Nothing.
Exactly. So, a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to all of the great things coming to Ubisoft in the next couple of years.
We love that video game companies are just allowed to go about their business performing basically the Stanford prison experiment every day and just seeing how much they can get away with.
Yeah, not a whole lot more to say about it. Just like, hey, this is a thing that's happening and it's pretty bad. But you know what's worse?
What's worse?
Amazon, makers of that God of War show that we talked about earlier, and the Fallout show that we talked about earlier, are laying off 16,000 people this week. Well, okay, they've announced that they're laying those people off. I guess that's not necessarily happening this week, but 16,000 people are losing their jobs.
Is that just across like the whole company? Is that like delivery people? Is that film studio people now? Is that what are they doing?
So it seems to be largely their brick and mortar locations. So they own a lot of like, it's like certain grocery stores. Like they own Whole Foods. I don't know if we knew this. They own Whole Foods, Amazon. So it's a lot of their like retail locations are just completely shutting down. But pretty much all sectors of the company, which is massive, it's Amazon, are being affected in one way or another. On the gaming side, which is the side that I look at the most, they basically shut down all of their gaming stuff. Like they have Luna, like still exists technically, but they've almost completely stopped support and production for it. And their head of that division just left the company. So like they're cooked as far as that's concerned. And then, it's all brick and mortar stuff. If people don't know, maybe you're listening to this from outside the country, found out at the end of the year, actually, we have some following in like Australia, which is crazy. Hey, welcome. We love you. The job market in America right now, not great. Our president, who you know as the Cheeto Man, he has laid off, not him specifically, but because of his economy. Well, actually, no, he has laid off several million federal workers, so he's not helping. But the economic conditions that he has created have resulted in some of the highest layoffs, like job loss in America in my or your lifetime. Like we're down millions of jobs since he took office a year ago.
We're just having so much fun.
Yeah, well, it's okay because he's replacing them with ICE officers, so everyone's doing great. Everyone's doing great. We're all happy about it.
We're just having so much fun.
Hey, Australia, y'all taking applicants?
Can I come? You know, we'd rather live with your enormous fuck off house spiders than what we've got going on.
I would take
here, to be completely honest. So.
I'll take drop bears and huntsman spiders and big ass sharks or whatever. I'll take all of that shit over ice tomorrow. I hear Australia's beautiful this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
So
we will domesticate your spiders and ride them into battle.
Yeah, honestly, and frankly, I am shocked that you haven't already. It would have helped in the Emu War.
You crazy people. You crazy, crazy nation. with all your own problems.
With your own problems. Although, I'm sure not as bad as ours at this fucking point.
Yeah, we've kind of accidentally asserted ourselves as the main characters of this fucked up world. But yeah, there's some side arcs going on around there. There's some people.
Yeah.
No one's having fun.
Isn't that cool?
None of us. We're all help. Help. If you're out there, help. Please help.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're down to our last story before we get into our favorite things of the year. And it's, I think, going to be a relatively fast one, because it's honestly piggybacking on what we were just saying about job markets and everything being down. So because the economy in, well, honestly, a lot of the world, but especially in America, is so bad, the video game space is being hurt pretty bad. So we got quarterly results from the three big companies, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. Xbox was the last one to turn it in. They turned it in like 2 days ago or something. And unsurprisingly, they're also down. So just to go over it real fast, Switch 2 sales are doing really bad over the holiday. They did pretty well at launch, but over the holiday period, they were down 35% as compared to the first holiday with the Switch 1, due largely to the fact that it costs a lot more, doesn't have the same level of video game support that the first one had, because the first one launched with, I'm pretty sure it launched with Mario Odyssey, didn't it? Which is, I mean, I know Bonanza's big, but like Mario's the guy. And then also because the economy sucks ass and people don't have $500 to spend on a new console today. So PS5 sales dropped 40% from this time last year. So they're not doing great. Xbox is down 35% from this time last year, although it is worth noting that although that sounds better than PlayStation, they've already been falling off quite a bit over the last little while. So they had less far to fall, frankly. So everyone's kind of eating shit. This was, in terms of hardware sales, the weakest holiday since 1995.
Hey, 20 years.
There we go. And what a record. You know, and they say that America's just born to break records, and here we are doing it.
Wait, 30 years.
Yeah.
I caught myself.
There you go. There you go. So it's pretty bleak. And I will say, also contributing to this is the Grand Theft Auto of it all. That is absolutely also a factor, because Xbox and PlayStation both noted that they didn't put out a lot of basically any big games over the holiday this year, or last year, I guess now, because they had moved them to avoid Grand Theft Auto, which then also didn't come out. So
nice. Thanks, guys.
So instead there just was kind of nothing. Like Ghost of Yotei came out in, I think, like very early November or late October, somewhere in there. And other than that, there really wasn't anything huge in the holiday window. So that's another big contributing factor. But if you ask anybody, the number one reason is, the number one reason is the economy. The number two reason is all these consoles, with the exception of the Switch 2, are getting kind of old. And so we know that new ones are coming soon. So people are kind of like weaning off it. Everything's just down right now. And of course, you know, all the people online are using it as a way to yell at whichever brand that they don't like as much. They're like, look, you guys are down, and like not acknowledging that they're down as well, which is, you know, that's the internet we live in. So
yep.
Cool. But yeah, just to sort of put on a point on this one, this was a thing that was sort of already happening, has been happening for the last probably 18 months, but especially in the last year, is
just layoffs have been up across the games industry, and with this news that things are continuing to go down, probably there will be more this year, which is not good. Just expect some really bad news. The one good piece of news coming out of this, and it's going to start sounding like it's not, but it is Microsoft was just devalued like roughly, I want to say it was like $40 billion in the stocks. And all their shareholders are like, it's because you're doing too much shit with AI and it's not going anywhere. So the shareholders are now telling Microsoft to stop doing AI. So that's good.
Okay, there's a glimmer of light in this. We've got a silver lining.
We got something. And I do think, this year for video games is looking a little bit bigger. So those numbers will almost certainly come up. As far as like software sales, I don't know about hardware necessarily, maybe for Switch. But like, Wolverine's going to sell better than Ghost of Yotei. Xbox is putting out a Forza, a Gears, and a Halo. So like all of those are going to do better than South of Midnight, even though that game was great. Mm-hmm. So it's, it's going to be a much more financially successful year for video games, but I'm sure that will not stop the layoffs that are inevitable.
Right.
So I don't know, anything you want to throw in? Anything you want to throw in there?
Just recap is becoming the depressing show we do.
Yeah, which is crazy because the last episode of Replay we put out took place in hell. So
yeah, but I'd rather be in hell.
We are there. We're there. Welcome.
I'd rather be in a fictional hell than the real hell.
Yeah. Well, hey, but let's end this episode on a positive note. Let's look at the things from 2026 that we are looking forward to.
An optimistic way to end the show.
Let's do it. I hate ending on a bad note. So let's big up 2026. Some things in it will have to be good. And I think we each got 5 things that we're going to go over, and I would like for you to go first, please.
So my first thing that I'm looking forward to in 2026 should technically be an honorable mention, if anything, because it's not fair that this is on my list, because I put it on my list last year and it just didn't come out when I thought it was going to. But hey, we've got a confirmed date now. It has to come out.
Okay, let me.
So One Piece season 2, Netflix. It has to be that. It's finally happening. I think I unfounded believed that it would come out late 2025. I was like, this seems right. It seems like a good window for it to happen. But instead, fast forward like 6 months past what I thought it was going to do. But here we are now, and it's just around the corner, and I think it looks really, really good. And I'm very excited.
It looks very goofy. Like a lot of the stuff that we've seen from the costumes and the sets and stuff do look really goofy. But it's an anime. You know what I mean? Like we're expecting that.
It looks appropriately goofy.
Right.
And it's not like season 1 wasn't goofy. It was.
No. I mean, there's no way you can look at like the way that most of those fishmen looked and be like, yeah, this is a show that's taking itself very seriously.
The message is real. The outfits are silly.
How did you feel? I know this is a little bit off topic, but it's something that's been weirdly showing up on my feed lately. How did you feel about the Nami, like, of course we will moment as compared to it in the manga or the anime? Weaker, stronger?
Oh, well, I mean, I think we're just now talking about like which one rings the most true in my head, which is probably the one I saw first, which is the anime.
Mm.
I don't think that's really touchable. I think technically it's weaker in the live action, but that's just because you started with peak and you can't really top that, and it would be very hard to match that. I think they did as good as they could, but that whole sequence in the anime and the manga of them, Nami stabbing her arm and Luffy putting the hat on her head, and of course I will. And then all the lads march on Arlong Park. That is, I think, for most people who start from the beginning, the moment where like, oh shit, we're here.
Yeah,
I'm in this for the long haul now.
Arlong. Whenever people are like, I'm going to start One Piece, I'm like, okay, you can't quit until after Arlong Park, because the first, what is that?
Yeah,
and it's not fair to say, but the first like 30 episodes is a lot of world building where not a lot of payoff happens. Arlong Park is where some of that starts coming due, and it's like you said, it is the first moment where you're like, yeah, no, I fuck with this. Like this is a show I'm gonna watch for another 1,100 episodes.
It's where the Straw Hats officially become ride or die.
Yeah.
And that's and I think the live action show, I'm gonna give them credit. I think they come as close as they can to matching that. It falls short only by nature of when the anime did it, of being so peak.
Yeah, I don't think that it's necessarily like, I think it's very good in the live action, but it is a thing where it's like I don't think that they quite nailed it. You know what I mean? I think it was like 80% of the way to where the anime was. And I don't know what a similar moment in season 2 is gonna be. You know what I mean? Or like, would it be just like, shut up and come with us or whatever? Is it gonna be that one? Is it gonna be like, what do we think that's gonna be? Or whatever he says. You know what I'm talking about. The
Sakura petals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But I think it's very close to that scene. It's gonna be the Sakura petals when Chopper looks up and sees them, and
yeah,
the crying that will ensue.
I'm already emotionally braced to cry at "I Want to Live." Like, that's gonna hit so hard.
Listen, I just need the show to get that far.
I just need to get there.
I'm not ready for it.
No,
I'm fuck me up, fam. That's what I say.
There's a couple of scenes from One Piece, because it's truly existed. Like, I've been watching it my entire life, I think, pretty much at this point. There's a couple of scenes from that show that I could watch the clip right now and be in tears.
I mean, what do you think thank you for loving me is gonna do?
I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will pass away.
That's when, I want to die when that happens.
And my adrenaline will already be so high from watching Impel Down into Paramount, that when that happens, I will cease to be. I will pass into nirvana.
Every One Piece fan has been raptured for some reason.
The Catholics, they had it all wrong. It's One Piece season 5 or some shit.
About 35% of the American populace, 60% of Mexico, and all of Japan have raptured from the world. We don't know where they went, but if you or any of your loved ones are affected, please.
All we found are piles of clothes and tissues filled with cum and or tears.
Yeah, both. So yes, One Piece season 2. Looking forward to it.
This is gonna be so good.
It's finally happening.
It's gonna be so good. So I'm intentionally going to start with the ones that I know for a fact that you're not going to do, because I'm trying really hard to have 10 unique things on this list. So for me, one of the things that I'm truly looking forward to the most this year is that I bought tickets to a concert that's in April.
Oh, yeah.
There's a MGK America Lost Americana tour ticket burned in a hole in my digital wallet that I'm very excited to go to. There's been a lot of the tour's already started. He's been I think he started in like California or some shit, which is weird, I guess, because he's from the Midwest. You'd think he would maybe start there. But we've seen a lot of things like come out from it. People are very happy with the way the set list has turned out. Every so often he'll throw in a new song, because the man never stops working. He's insane. He's writing a new album currently with Halsey, his ex-girlfriend. And so she's also been showing up on the tour to see, because she had one of his most famous songs, Forget You Too, is him and Halsey singing, and so she's come out to sing it a couple times just when she's around, because they're making this album together. And so if she shows up to the one I go to, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Halsey's great, we love her. But because MGK is one of those guys where he's just constantly collaborating with other people, like that's his favorite thing in the world. Most of the locations he's been to have had and here's the surprise guest of this guy, and it's like, whoa. You know. So I don't know who that's going to be for us, but I guarantee it's going to be somebody.
Oh my god. It's going to be Post Malone.
It could be. I don't know. I don't know if they've collaborated. He collaborated with Jelly Roll, who's in the same sort of vein. But
yeah, but Post Malone's from here.
He is from here. Yeah. So
he's going to walk out on stage holding just a big basket of Cane's chicken fingers. And he's going to load the chicken fingers and the cane sauce into a big t-shirt can and then launch it out at and you got to catch one,
Right.
and bring it home for me, and I'll eat it.
Hell yeah. And I'm really excited about it because I've never been to like a big concert before. I've been to a couple like smaller ones that were, we have some friends, Jeff and Charles, who used to be in like a post-hardcore band. And so I went to a couple of concerts with them where they were like opening for other smaller bands. And I went to one that was at like a bar where Dragon Force was at for some reason. That's probably the technically biggest one I went to. But I've never been to like a concert before. So I'm very excited to see what that's like. And maybe Halsey's going to be there, so it's going to be awesome.
I want to take this opportunity to brag about the concerts I've been to.
Okay. Yeah. All the ones you didn't invite me to.
Appropriate. I think our music, at least back then, when I used to go to concerts, it was kind of different circles.
You went to like a Judas Priest concert with Christian, right?
Yeah, I did. It was Judas Priest, Black Label Society, and Thin Lizzy, which was a really great concert. It was fun, really cool. I saw Ozzy Osbourne.
That would have been a good one.
Which hits harder to say now that he's passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ozzy, and he was opened by Slash. So that was like, okay.
You got slashed open?
Rock. Listen. No, don't take the bait. Don't explain it. People know who Slash is.
So what's your second thing you're looking forward to? Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, my second thing was pretentiously talking about all the concerts I've been to.
Hey, and that's fine too.
No. My second thing that I'm most excited for, and I'm putting this early on the list because it's like right around the corner.
It's like 2 weeks from now.
And how can it not be? You messaged me and were like, "How many video games are you talking about?" And I said exactly one, and you were like, "Oh, so it's Resident Evil."
So it's this one.
Yeah. Resident Evil 9.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Resident Evil 9.
It's not.
What else am I even going to say about it?
It's not its God-given name.
Do it.
It's Requiem.
Resident Evil 9 Quiem.
9 Quiem. It's going to be good. We got Grace. We got Leon. We're going back to Raccoon City. It's going to be crazy. And it's out in, I think, like 3 weeks. Was it February 20-something?
It might be the first game in years that I'm going to like buy day one.
Yeah.
Or that wasn't like on or bought digital or straight to Game Pass or something of the like. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy this video game and I'm gonna play it.
You gonna
I'm gonna tell you it's good, even if it's bad. I'm gonna tell you it's good.
You picked it up on our fantasy critic too, didn't you? Yeah, that was you who got that.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So you're invested
kind
in
of
two ways.
I went kind of on a roll in our fantasy critic that we did of like I just want to pick games that I want to play, and I got most of the way there, except I had to pick up one that I was like, I don't even know what this is.
I'm looking at your list and I'm not sure which one that would be. Oh, is it Control Resonant?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I only vaguely know. I'm like, yeah, this is a thing, but I don't, whatever.
It's the sequel to Control from the Alan Wake guys.
That's cool. But Resident Evil, it's not as cool as Resident Evil 9 because that's gonna be my year's gonna peak early. Maybe let's see.
Yeah, and then you can go back to sleep.
Yes, and then earn all my energy points.
All my energy points. We're going for the high. Hey, what did you do in 2026? I went double platinum in napping.
Double platinum.
I got a diamond rank.
I'm 6-time prestige on nap.
On Sleep Time Simulator.
Apple Watch Nap Hero. Yeah.
They did like a Pokemon sleep too, and I was like, no, that's stupid. And now I'm like, oh, but my watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an asshole I am.
Sleep.
Okay, I am going to start dipping into things that I might be stealing from you, which is unfortunate.
It's okay. I do have one backup in case that happens. But okay. I'm looking at my 2, and I think there's no way you're going to get 2 of these, so.
Okay, good. So my second one that I'm going to go for is, no particular order. I'm very excited for the Lanterns TV show. Was that on your list?
Yeah. That's not on my list.
Okay.
That's not on my list.
Yeah. So
because I forgot.
Nice. And that's how we win. That's how I win. So I'm really excited for this for a multitude of reasons. Number one, we've never gotten a good live action Green Lantern at all. Obviously, the Ryan Reynolds one was bad, and then there was like technically one in that Justice League movie who sucked shit.
Are you forgetting the guy from the Justice League when he
No,
died? Do you remember him?
I saw his ass. He was like a weird little alien
Oh.
guy. I remember being specifically mad because I was like, well, I think it was back in time, but I was like, you couldn't have even just been like, hey, that was Abin Sur. Like, you couldn't do anything with that. You were just like, it's just some fucking dude. And you're like, all right.
That they did. I don't remember if it was just the Zack Snyder 4-hour version or if it was I think it was probably that one. But there's the corpse of Kilowog is just like laying in front of a decimated Hall of Justice.
Yeah.
Does that not count for you? Is that not cool?
No. Well, because there's also a dead Green Lantern in one scene of Smallville, so I guess we could count that. But
I don't even remember that.
There's a scene in season 1 where Lex goes to talk to
season 1
where Lex.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The fortune teller lady, and he kills her with his scary future.
Accidentally, yeah. So she can like touch people and see the future, and he sees himself in a white suit standing in a field of skulls, and when it zooms out you can for like 1 second see like, oh, there's a Batman cowl on that skeleton, and there's like a Green Arrow or Green Lantern ring on that, and
Wonder Woman brace or something
like that. Yeah. And then it rains blood, and then the lady whose name I think is like, I don't know, she's named after a Greek muse, but I can't remember the name at the top of my head. Dies.
Well, as long as we're talking about live action Green Lanterns, let us not forget and I stopped watching long before this happened, but in Arrow, when the character John Diggle gets a Green Lantern ring, and
and he says no.
Off screen says no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, actually, I'm cool wearing a really stupid helmet. That's going to be my character.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What a show that was. But so I'm really excited for this.
So we're banking that Lanterns will be better than all of that.
It honestly probably can't be worse. So there's that to look forward to at least.
Okay.
But also I think this is going to be a big test for the DCU, because this is going to be one of the first things that's like very not James Gunn. It doesn't seem like he's really touched it at all. It was already filmed. I don't know. He's probably going to be involved in like editing or something to some extent. But it's going to be very, because maybe Supergirl. I don't know if he's touching that, but I think it's going to be the first thing of like, okay, we're introducing a new thing that hasn't really been seen before. It seems like it's going to be a more serious thing. Can we get through this without, the James Gunn-isms that we're used to? Is this going to feel like a different thing? And is it going to still be good? So I'm very excited to see how they stick that landing. I feel like they're saying all the right things. I love the casting that we've seen.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? I think it's going to be a real test. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing if they pass.
I agree. And it should have been on my list, but I forgot.
Well, and I'm glad you did.
Yeah, there you go. It works out.
So what is your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be... See, my list is kind of like a sandwich of things that I'm looking forward to a lot, but they had to go first because they're really soon. And then this middle bit is something that I'm being hopeful about. I'm being a little optimistic about putting it here on my list.
Okay.
I want to be excited for it. And then my last 2 are going to be things that I'm like, all right, yeah, we're back to let's fucking go with the last 2. But this one, it would sure be nice if that Spider-Man movie was really good.
Which one?
Right?
Because I think technically we're getting 2 this year, aren't we? We're getting the animated one as well, aren't we?
Is that coming out this year?
I don't know.
I don't know for sure if that one's good. That's not on my list if it is. But no, I'm talking about Brand New Day.
Okay. I would say I think all 3 of the the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies have been good, but that second one is like on the line.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I very much agree. It's our first real opportunity on having a grounded street level Tom Holland Spider-Man. Everything else has been and I know the Hulk is in it.
Yeah.
And I know that we're still in the multiverse saga. And I know that the Punisher's in it for some reason. And I know I think we're getting the Scorpion. We know that. Listen, it's fighting an uphill battle. But the potential is there. Mm-hmm. I hope the Scorpion is cool. I'm giving this one the benefit of the doubt and saying, like, remember, kids, Spider-Man movies mean something when they come out, or they're supposed to. So let's give it up for Spidey.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that as well. There's a lot of things it's not on my list fortunately. I did think about it though, because I was like, of the upcoming Marvel things, that's probably the thing that I'm most looking forward to. But there's a lot of like, I don't like the Punisher. This version of the Punisher is probably my favorite version. Still don't really care for the Punisher as a character. Have always hated the Hulk. I think he sucks. So throwing, two piles of shit onto this thing that I otherwise probably would have liked is not a positive. I'm sure it'll still be fine or good. But it's just like, we got two red flags coming in.
You know what solidified this being on my list of like, all right, yeah, let's be hopeful, is the fact that it is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, and I was enjoying Wonderman as much as I was. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it.
It looks like Beyond the Spider-Verse is currently slated for 2027, so I was wrong. Maybe maybe it was supposed to be 2026 and then got delayed. That feels pretty likely.
I feel like it was originally supposed to be like last year or something.
That's probably likely as well. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm excited for that. I think that all the Spider-Man movies have been good. I'm excited to see what Sadie Sink's role is. She's said specifically that she really wants to talk about it, so that makes me think that it's not just like, I'm a random love interest. I'm sure that she is somebody of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after watching Stranger Things for the finale, I came away really liking Sadie Sink.
She's
great.
I
think she's really good.
There was a time period, so her and Sophia Lillis, they were the two, like, we've got two redheads who are young and they're coming on the scene at the same time. And for a long time, I was like, Sophia Lillis is clearly the better one. And now I'm like, I don't know. They're both real good.
Sophia Lillis is really good, though. I've seen her in now multiple things where she's like being a genuine actor, not just like big property stuff like Dungeons and Dragons or stuff. But Sadie Sink was in The Whale, and she was very mad at her fat gay dad.
Was he gay in that?
He was. Yeah, he was.
I didn't know that. I didn't watch that movie.
The opening scene of the movie is him. You know what? Never mind.
You can say it's him slamming whale cheeks.
No, he was just vigorously masturbating to gay pornography, and then someone walked in on him. And he's big. He's the whale.
Right.
It's an unfortunate visual.
Just Baron Harkonnen jerking off in that oil pool.
I mean, I want to. You know what? I want to say for the record, it wouldn't have been better if it was straight pornography. I think just his pants were down. It was an unfortunate situation to walk in on.
It's always a bad angle. Anyway, so to move on from that, thanks.
The Whale, starring Brendan Fraser. He's too fat, and to make matters worse, he's gay.
He's gay, and he's got his dick out. If only they had done a big prosthetic like 28 whatever year later.
Oh no, we need Brendan to hang authentic dong.
Authentic whale dong. Oh, hey, did you hear this thing? We're going off topic. I'm sorry. Did you hear the thing where they were like, hey, what if the Loch Ness Monster was actually a whale's penis?
I think I have heard that. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Freaky ass whale. What was he doing?
I don't know if whales go into Loch Ness. Dicks up for Harambe 400 years before he was born.
Dicks up for Loch Ness. What is Loch Ness connect? Is there a channel that connects to the ocean?
Most certainly. I would have to.
This is your cryptid.
These are my people. Which, by the way, I've been Dune pilled. I was like, am I gonna like this House Atreides guys? And then they land on Arrakis, and a bagpiper comes out the ship, and I'm like, they're my people. These are my guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the third thing I'm looking forward to, I had to get a video game on this list, and truthfully, Resident Evil 9 is probably the one, but I knew before I even messaged you saying that we should do this, knew it was on your list, so didn't put it on mine.
Yeah.
So for me, that does limit it, because I do feel like, for me personally, it's going to be a huge year for video games, but for me personally, not a ton that I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, this is my shit. It's like, there's going to do like the End Times expansion for Total War Warhammer is like genuinely one of the bigger things. If Gears of War E-Day comes out, that'll be huge, but I don't feel any confidence that it's going to come out. So for me, the one that I think will come out, that I am most excited for, that is not Resident Evil, is Fable. They really sold me with that more recent
a twist.
That developer direct they did last week or whatever really sold me on it. I'm not a Fable guy historically. I've played 2 and 3, And I started one and couldn't finish it because I didn't enjoy it at all. But hey, we'll get to it on replay at some point, and then I'll be forced to. But they're saying all the right things. They're like, it's a cool fantasy world. It doesn't take itself super seriously, which a lot of the games I've been playing lately are like really grim dark. So I'm looking forward to something that's like a little bit different. It's got, between Fable 3 and this coming out, I've gotten into the British comedy scene, and it turns out there's going to be a lot of British comedians just like showing up in it. So will we see Greg Davies show up as an ogre somewhere? It's genuinely possible.
Why you gotta make him an ogre?
He
That's
knows.
not fair.
He knows what he is. Will we see a oh god, what's his name? Scrawny little guy, red hair. He was on Taskmaster.
James Acaster?
James A. Yes. Will we see a James Acaster goblin?
A goblin! Come on!
A goblin.
I want to see David Mitchell as like a little wizard.
Oh my god, I would
he's
love
not good
it.
at being a wizard.
And he accidentally summons Lee.
Oh, that'd be great.
He's like, oh, how do I get rid of this little imp? So, a lot of...
All British people are either ogres, goblins, or imps.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, what else are they going to be? Princes? Unlikely.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so a lot of things to look forward to as far as that's concerned. I'm not actually expecting a ton of cameos or anything. Honestly, I think the Richard Ayoade one is probably going to be the biggest one, in that he's a giant. But also them being like, hey, we're going to do this it's going to be this whole open world where like you can interact with all the characters and they all have their things. And we didn't use AI at all. They made a very stringent point to make sure that was said in their thing after the fact. Because everyone was like, oh yeah, 1,000 NPCs, I bet you used AI for it. And they're like, that's not that many. There's 100 people who work here and we worked on it for like 7 years. So but
that's a good point.
So it's gonna, I don't know, man, like they're saying all the right things. It looks gorgeous. It's gonna be funny. They're not gonna take itself seriously. I don't think Gears of War E-Day or Grand Theft Auto are coming out this year, so that clears the runway.
I agree that the showcase did a lot to put my eyes on this game as well. I think it looks neat. I also drafted this for Fantasy Critic, which is funny because I counterpicked it last year because I didn't think it was going to be good. Right. I didn't expect it to get delayed like it did. I was just like, it's probably not going to be good. But now,
and friend of the show Christian counterpicked it this year.
I thought it wasn't popular.
Yeah.
Hey, well, the joke's going to be on him because I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
The only way that's a good counterpick for Christian is if it doesn't come out this year, is where I'm at. Although there's some person who's going to get even more screwed over by their counterpick because Abrar counterpicked the Wolverine game. So if that comes out, he's screwed.
Like, there's no way that doesn't get good reviews.
There is,
even if it's like middling, I think.
If it comes out, because I would say there's like a 20% chance it doesn't come out, as is the case with all video games. If it comes out, it's going to be at least an 85, no doubt.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so no, he screwed himself on that one. But yeah, really looking forward to that. What is your fourth?
My number 4 is something that is long awaited for me since, was it 2022 or 2023? I want to say 2023 is the movie that came out that this is a sequel to. The only thing is, I don't know if this is going to drop 2026 in America.
Okay.
But its Japanese release date is November 3rd, and Godzilla -0.
Oh, I was like, your number one most looked forward to movie this year is a foreign film? That's crazy. But now I understand.
-1 was my movie of the year when it came out. It was so good. And this basically everyone, as soon as -1 came out, they were like, do it again.
Do it again.
And
do a flip.
Here we are, doing it again. So, awesome. Let's do it. Let's fucking go. How many times can I say let's fucking go for everything I pick? Every time. I picked 5 things.
Yeah, I mean, that's the purpose of this list, is to say exactly that. I haven't seen -1. I hear it's great. I've never been a huge like Godzilla guy, which is weird because at the beginning of the show I was like, it's a great show, Kaiju number 8, and I'm not watching the Kaiju thing, like the most famous Kaiju thing of all time.
That's true.
But hey,
we are destined to do Godzilla movies for rewatch.
Yeah,
Destined.
we are gonna have to figure out how to do that because
so up our alley.
aren't there like 6,000 of those, and most of them are like impossible to find?
We can find them. Don't you worry.
All right, but they're not just gonna be like on a streaming service at this point, I would assume.
Well, I've got a fair bit on Blu-ray.
Ooh,
and the only reason I haven't gotten like a collection of them on Blu-ray is because the only collection of like the earlier films that is sold as a collection is in like a big, nice looking, like box set that does not fit on a shelf with other Blu-rays. But that's my cross to bear. I'm gonna figure that out. It's don't you worry. But yeah, no, us watching Godzilla movies is inevitable. It will happen. It's not up to us. It's destiny.
it's destiny. We can't get away from it. All right. So my number 4, and I have to start being picky now because I did put some extra ones on here in case you picked them, and then you didn't steal any of mine. So now I'm like in a bind, and I'm looking to make a deal. So I already had one TV show, but genuinely, when I was looking through like what things had announced release dates for this year that I was looking forward to, a lot of it was TV shows. So, oops. We already talked about Daredevil Born Again, so I'm going to scratch that off. We don't need to talk about that. So instead, I'm going to say Rings of Power. So Rings of Power Season 3 is supposed to be coming out this year.
Ooh.
The first 2 seasons were phenomenal. I don't think they're getting watched a lot, which is really disappointing because I think that they're actually one of the best things that Amazon is putting out there. It's like, I would put it on par with the Fallout show. I think Fallout is maybe slightly high. I don't know. Oh God, it's hard to compare because one's like very much a comedy and the other one's very serious.
You know what's interesting is the amount of people who complain about stuff that the Fallout show does to the lore does recontextualize how much people complain about Rings of Power. So
people do complain about Rings of Power, and I do. Some of it I understand. Like, it's not a perfect show. There's issues with it for sure. There's certain characters I don't love. But then, I feel like most of the complaints that I see are just in bad faith. They're like, why is Galadriel there? And it's like, well, because takes place during the time period where she was like the most powerful person in Middle Earth. So she's going to do some shit. Yeah. There's a lot of really interesting lore building and like characters there. It's shot beautifully. They're putting so much money into it, which I have to assume they're not getting back based on the fact that like, in our friend group, I think I'm the only person watching this show, which is crazy because I think everyone in our friend group likes Lord of the Rings.
I love Lord of the Rings, and I'll admit I have not watched this yet.
Right. So I don't think a lot of people are. But I still know that season 3 is going to have the budget to end all budgets because they're setting up some shit at the end of season 2 that is going to be insane. And season 2 was already huge. The last like 2 episodes of season 2 are one big fight. So we're going to get some crazy shit. And I'm so excited. Part of me thinks that this might be the last season. I don't know if they've said that, but we are also getting to a point where I'm like, I don't know how much more you can do between this and the start of the movies, Because like, do we think that the show is going to lead all the way up to Isildur cutting the ring off Sauron's finger? Do we think that's going to be where the show ends?
That would be interesting to lead up to that battle and to show other aspects of that battle that aren't seen in that opening sequence.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that's not necessary.
I don't think we need to go that far.
It would be interesting.
And I'd be happy to get that far. But based on the amount of money they're putting into it, and I assume the amount of money they're getting out of it, I don't necessarily see that. I'd love it. But also right now, the guy playing Isildur is like pretty young, and he's like a grown-ass man. I mean, he's obviously going to look way different in the show than he is in the TV show, or in the movies rather. But in the movies, he's like an older guy. So who knows, man? Who knows? But I'm very excited for it. It's going to be great. And it's currently supposed to be coming out November. So I don't know if it gets delayed out of the year, then this is going to be, my
push, but
it's going to be my One Piece, I guess.
For you, your One Piece. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I'm very, very much looking forward to it. Skyler, what is your last thing that you're looking forward to?
Okay, so my number 5 is another movie that is supposed to come out this year on independent film circuits. Like, I think it's going to play festivals, and I don't know if it's going to get a wider release this year. And because of that, I'm willing to drop this for a different answer. But I'm going to just say that the film Dire Duplicity is coming out. Do you know what this is, Dan?
I've never heard of it before in my life.
Okay. It is the newest film by Neil Breen.
Oh my God. Anyway, and that's the end of the show. We're canceling the program.
It's coming out. Hey, whoa, no. Listen. All right, my real number 5 is The Odyssey.
Oh, okay. Okay. I did toy around with putting that on my list as well, so I'm glad I didn't.
No, I mean, I wanted to say Dire Duplicity. I want to watch that movie. But I'm going to say The Odyssey. It's going to be... Chris Nolan movies, I think... I mean, I don't want to overhype it now because of Oppenheimer. But I think Oppenheimer kind of solidified the new Chris Nolan movie as not just like a big film-going event as his past movies have been, but kind of like a cultural event. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's going to keep their eyes out on this, especially since Oppenheimer did so well and won so many Oscars and everything. I just feel like the film conversation, everyone's going to be talking about it, and that has me almost more excited than actually going to see it, which I will be going to see it. Yeah, I think it'll be cool.
Oh, it's going to be great. He has a pretty strong track record with movies. There's a couple in there that I didn't really fuck with. Was not a Tenet fan, for example.
Oh, let me just say something to you, Daniel. Yeah. I don't like Tenet.
Okay. And I actually haven't seen Oppenheimer, but I hear it's good with the exception of the explosion. Apparently the explosion is really disappointing. So, oops.
It's artistic.
I watched a video of, there's a YouTube channel. I wish I could remember its name so I could plug them. There's a YouTube channel where it's VFX guys who like look at VFX.
Quarter Crew?
Probably. Yeah, I think that's right. They were looking at, they did a video where it was, here's all of the most famous nuclear explosion scenes in movies. And they like fully dogged on the one from Oppenheimer. They were like, that doesn't look like a nuke. That's a fireball explosion. That's not a nuke at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also watched that video. Yeah.
So
it's a fair point.
So, oops. Sorry, Chris. Way to ruin the movie.
Yeah, you fuckhead. I'm taking it off my list. Neil Breen is the one that stays on the list.
Not even Chris Florence Nolan. Pubes could bring it back from that.
No, remember when like Gen Z got really mad because Oppenheimer had like 4 seconds of nudity in it?
Was that Gen Z? For me, it was old people being mad about that.
Oh, no, it's the young people that were mad.
Oh.
They were like, how dare they subject us to naked people?
Look, if you gotta subject me to naked people, I'd rather it be Florence Pugh than the whale.
Oh. Hey, both those movies have won Oscars, okay?
True.
That's the important thing.
That's the secret.
Is
high-profile actor
nakedness.
Get their butthole out.
Get their whale out.
I am excited for this movie.
Having a whale of a time, he was.
Playing with his whale tail. Yeah, I'm also very excited for The Odyssey. I think, it's been a while since we've gotten a sword and sandal sort of movie. I know we got Gladiator like last year or whatever, but I don't think that really took off the way people were looking for it to.
No,
I definitely think this is going to outperform that one without a doubt. And I know that people are like upset about the historical accuracy of certain armor.
Oh,
and I will say, I agree. The Achilles armor looks really stupid.
But I'm just.
But I don't care.
Just shut up.
Shut up. When he turned around in that helmet and it looked the way it did from the back, looked great. From the front, what are we doing? But also, I don't think he's gonna necessarily be like a huge character in it. Achilles is an Iliad character. Odyssey, obviously, we're doing some of that because it looks like we've got in the trailer. It looks like we're in the Trojan horse at one point. But the Odyssey is like, that's the journey home. And Achilles, spoilers, I guess, is dead. So, sorry to spoil Homer's The Odyssey for you.
That is true.
But,
well, you could be spoiling Troy.
Yeah, I guess I could. Anyway, it's going to be great. The cast on it's insane.
Who's playing Achilles in this?
I have no idea. I really don't. I'm sure it's somebody.
I must not have even seen what you're talking about.
The scene in where they're in the Trojan horse? Or what are we talking about?
The armor that you're talking about.
Achilles, when he turns around, he's wearing a Gundam helmet?
Yeah, I don't know what this... I haven't... Is this in the trailer?
Yeah. Here, I'll send you a picture.
Do I have dementia? But I don't think that's Achilles. because
There's a chance it's
I think
Agamemnon.
in frame that's Odysseus, and they would be wearing the same armor theoretically.
No, Odysseus is an archer.
Okay, well but they're on the same side, is what I mean.
Right, but this guy, I mean, we see them the armor that they're traditionally wearing, and it's not the same. Like, I don't think that's if it was someone from the opposing force, if it was Paris or whatever, like a Trojan, I don't think it would look like that. Also, I'm seeing the lion, so he's got this lion motif on his claw, the clasps of his cloak, and to me, that's very Greek. And I know Troy's also like technically Greek, but for me, I think that reads as like Macedonia, like northern Greece, and I think for me that for my money, that's Achilles. That's where I'm at. I don't know. That's my guess.
Okay.
There's a chance it's Agamemnon, but he looks too young.
If we were going to say anything about all these helmets, is that they all look like MF Doom.
All right. But yeah, when he turned around and his helmet was contoured, I was like, oh, that's a choice. But I don't think it's... I don't think he's gonna matter for most of the movie. Like, if this is a somewhat faithful retelling, then it's like, no, we're not gonna be caring about what Achilles looks like. Even if that's Agamemnon, we're not gonna be caring too much about him by the end of the movie. We're gonna be looking at like Circe and Polyphemus and like the sirens, and like we got other shit to deal with.
The big ogre in the cave.
That's Polyphemus.
The big Greg Davies that walks in. That's gonna be Greg Davies.
It's also Greg Davies. He's playing an ogre and a cyclops.
He's a cyclops. That's right. So the great thing about hiring Greg Davies for that role is no CGI to make him that big. He just walks in.
He's just the size he is.
Yeah. Does our Greg Davies bit land for anyone listening? Anyone else a big fan of the British comedy scene?
Yeah. Does anyone else love Taskmaster?
Yeah, you guys like Taskmaster?
It's good. Right. It's a good show. We like it. Actually, I don't know if you've watched it. It's good. I like it.
Either Neil Breen or Christopher Nolan. You take your pick. Dealer's choice. That's my number 5.
I'll tell you which one's going in the tags on the video.
You better put a picture of Neil Breen, a very small Neil Breen, on the thumbnail.
I will Photoshop Neil Breen's head into Achilles' gooch, just a little tiny one. He'll be one pixel big.
Try to photo. This is gonna give you a lot of work to do. Try to Photoshop him into the helmet.
So here's the thing:
Neil Breen's face in there.
Here's the thing: can't do it. I don't own Photoshop. I do all of my photoshopping on Canva, and it's not that robust. So okay. So for my 5th and final thing to get on out of here, that was your last one, right? I'm not miscounting.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
It was 2 for 1 either way, so I'm done.
So that's fair. For me, there's a lot of things I wanted to say. Survivor 50, I really wanted to be on this list, but there's the celebrity cameos in the teaser have me just concerned enough to bump it to like number 8. So it's not on there. If we did a top 10, it would be, but here we are. So I wasn't ranking the other ones, but this is for sure with a bullet my number 1 thing that I'm most excited for this year. And I hate to do it to us. It's going to be the last thing on the video, so most people aren't going to get this far anyway. But the thing I'm looking forward to the most this year is, without a doubt, it is the 2026 midterm elections.
Well, look at you go.
Look, man.
I genuinely thought that this might get said too.
Look,
that's the funny thing.
I know I try not to talk too much about like politics on the show wherever we can, because like it's not what the show's about. But everything that we do love is so heavily impacted by the politics happening in America right now, so it's so hard to avoid most of the time anyway. So basically what I'm saying is we are expecting a really huge blue wave with this midterms, where we're going to get a lot of these MAGA Republicans out of their seats of power and then hopefully into prison, where they belong for being, some combination of pedophiles or racketeers or people who just endorse police brutality or people doing police brutality. So if we can just get the Democrats in charge of the House and the Senate, which it looks like we have a pretty good chance of doing that right now, because the entire country is so pissed off about the fact that the economy is way worse than it was when he took office, even though he is trying really hard to convince us that it's not. or the fact that people are getting murdered in Minneapolis. Like right now, like today, there were 4 journalists that got arrested in Minneapolis for just doing their jobs. Cannot wait for him to not be able to just steamroll whatever dumb bullshit he wants to do through the House and through the Senate, who is just rubber stamping every fucking thing that this narcissistic fucking dictator wants to put us as the American people, and frankly the entire world at this point, through. And hopefully shortly after roll into a Nuremberg style just takedown of these absolute motherfuckers in ICE. I want to see Kristi Noem and Homan and that guy who just got fired, but he's still got to go to jail. All of them. I like, hey, Alligator Alcatraz is still open, right? Just let the people who shouldn't be there in, and just stuff it with all the fucking ICE guys who have been just the absolute, like, war criminals without a war. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get these fuckers out of here. Can we put the, like, clearly they're looking for a fight. Can we start like a gladiator competition where we just have these guys fight to the death? Is that an option? Because I'm down. I'd watch it and I'd have my popcorn ready. We live in hell, and in 2026, God willing, and looking at just the trends of how all of these polls have been coming back, where these Republicans are like 35 points underwater on almost every topic, we're going to see a turnaround in the House and the Senate like the world has never seen. And unfortunately, it doesn't come until November. We're going to get some like hits throughout the year because it's not all at the same time. There's like special elections and shit. At end of this year, we're going to see, with any luck, just a coalition of like Newsom and Pritzker and AOC and Jasmine Crockett and all these guys just like coming together to just dog walk these MAGA douchebags into prison. And I cannot fucking wait. It's going to be the most amazing I have felt in years. Or the alternative is that he'll throw out the Insurrection Act, which he's not technically allowed to do, but when has that stopped him? And then it'll be a civil war, in which case I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hey, either way, that's my number 1. How we doing? How you feeling?
I'm feeling really good about it. I was quiet through almost all of that, but that's not because I disagree. It's because I was making something.
Okay.
That I'm going to send to you now.
Okay.
So, if you just want to put this on our thumbnail, then that would...
I'm not putting that in the thumbnail, but I appreciate you.
Please!
No.
Please!
You can post that to your Blue Sky. And if you leave a comment about which things you're most looking forward to in the comments underneath on YouTube or Spotify, we are making the trek to 300, and it's going, honestly, pretty decent. We're just about to hit 110, which I know sounds like a far away, and that's because it is. And we need you to tell all your friends how great we are so they'll show up and subscribe. You can help just by leaving a comment or liking the video. That really helps the algorithm. You can follow the show on Twitter at @RSR_POD, or if you hate Twitter, which is fair, you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG.
You can follow me on just Blue Sky because fuck Twitter.
Correct.
At Skyler 8-bit.
Where you can hopefully see this picture he's just sent me of Neil Breen photoshopped into the contoured helmet from Odyssey.
Very hastily done.
Hey, you know what?
My work will go unappreciated.
It still looks better than anything in a Neil Breen movie.
Oh, come on.
Am I wrong?
No.
Anyway, everybody, until next time, we'll see you around.
The game's just starting, the world's so bright. Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back in time where pixels and memories